NXT Heatwave 2024 match card and predictions for you here today with the show taking place this Sunday in Toronto, Canada. There are 5 matches at the time of recording, including the NXT Championship Fatal 4-Way, Trick Williams defending against Javon Evans, Shawn Spears and Ethan Page. We've got the NXT Women's Championship on the line, Roxanne Perez defending against Lola. We've got the North American Championship on the line with Femi defending against Wesley. This is Wesley's last chance at going for that championship. We've got the Women's North American Championship on the line with Kelani Jordan defending against Ruca, and the NXT Tag Team Championships up for grabs with Axiom and Nathan Frazer defending against Chase U. All in all, a fairly strong match card. I'd say my excitement levels out of 10 are probably a 7 for this show, and the match I'm most looking forward to is Femi versus Wesley. So let's kick off with that match because, well, Femi's been having fantastic matches as North American Champion against the guy who's been arguably the greatest North American Champion of all time. Wesley, since coming back from injury, has said he's going to get his gold back, but of course he's been involved in multiple multi-man matches, has not been involved in the decision. Now it's one-on-one, and if Wesley doesn't get the job done this time, well, this will be his last opportunity whilst Femi is North American Champion. Really excited for this one. I personally feel Femi is ready for the NXT Championship rather than the North American Championship, but arguably I think Wesley is as well. I've enjoyed his story in NXT, and I think the bubble is about to burst with that North American Championship. I don't see him winning back here at Heatwave. I think Wesley will have to regroup, and I think he'll switch his focus from the North American Championship to the NXT Championship. So I can see the loser of this match going towards the main event scene. I see Femi retaining for now, so Wesley could be a future contender for that NXT title. Next, let's discuss the NXT Women's Championship. Roxanne Perez defending against Lola. It should be a solid match between these two. Lola has been built up pretty darn well since the first time she went for this title. Of course, winning the breakout tournament last year, she cashed in that opportunity at Vengeance Day in February. It didn't feel like she was ready for that spot at that time, but the booking for Lola since has made her the credible and rightful #1 contender. If you go back to NXT Battleground just a few short weeks ago, she defeated Shayna Baszler in NXT Underground, and of course when you see Shayna Baszler in NXT terms, that propels you to the top of the NXT card. So Lola rightfully the #1 contender. It is technically heel versus heel here, so it should be an interesting dynamic of how the fans will take this match and who they'll be rooting for. I could see actually the fans actually going on side with Lola in this match, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. But if you go back into the rumor mill earlier this year, Julia signed with WWE, of course, and she was in the crowd for Stand and Deliver. She was expected to debut at this show to go for the NXT Women's Championship. That's if you believe the insider reports. Of course, since then, she's got injured. There's been rumors of dates and obligations she would have anyway before starting in NXT. So, well, Lola has this spot. It didn't happen. It's not worked out. Lola is the challenger here. However, I see Roxanne Perez retaining. Roxanne has this thing going on with Ava at the moment where she feels Ava, the general manager, is putting her in difficult positions, trying to take the title off of her at any given opportunity. I think that storyline has not run its course yet, so I think Roxanne will retain here and continue going on as NXT Women's Champion. We move on to the NXT Tag Team Championships. Axiom and Nathan Frazer against Chase U. This one's going to be an interesting tag team match. Of course, Chase U winning Tag Team Turmoil to get this #1 contender opportunity. Of course, Chase U is no longer in financial problems, but there is still a little bit of friction in and amongst the group. Of course, Ridge Holland recently joining the group, it seems, and well, not everyone's fully on board with that decision. So it's going to be interesting to see how Chase U actually function when it comes to this tag team match. However, Ridge will be on the outside. It will be Andre Chase and Duke Hudson going for the gold. As for Axiom and Frazer, well, Nathan Frazer has been burning the candle at both ends. Despite being a tag team champion, he's gone for the Heritage Cup. He's competed on WWE Speed, and Axiom not been such a fan of the fact that Frazer is, let's say, putting all of his eggs in other baskets rather than focusing on those tag team championships. I do think the championships will retain here. I do feel Axiom and Frazer will remain NXT tag team champions, and I think that this one should be a fun little match, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's more friction with Chase U at the end of this match. Next, it's Babyface versus Babyface for the NXT Women's North American Championship. Kelani Jordan defending against Ruca. Now, Kelani Jordan won that championship just a few short weeks ago in a ladder match at Battlegrounds. Of course, Ruca was the favourite in that ladder match. Didn't get the job done on the night, but she did defeat Ariana Grace to get the #1 contendership for this show. What's interesting about this match is not the fact we just got two baby faces against one another here. We also see a lot of jealousy from the NXT women's locker room of the fact that Kelani Jordan won that championship. Especially, we're seeing now a bit of a collaboration, let's say, at this point. Not a group at this point, but with Jacy Jayne, Jasmine Nukes, who are a tandem, but also Fallon Henley. It's interesting, especially the fact that Fallon Henley and Jacy Jayne have been in groups previously. Of course, Jacy Jayne being a part of Toxic Attraction, Fallon Henley being with Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen. Since breaking off on their own, they've not been able to get the job done as single stars. So to come together for a collective goal could make a lot of sense. I wouldn't be surprised if they are a factor when it comes to this match, either costing Kelani or causing a DQ finish. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happened here. I also feel though, when you see with the dynamic of the match itself, a lot of people wanted Sol Ruca to win, and I do think it could be interesting if Sol Ruca was to win the championship, have the group go after her. If they cost Kelani Jordan, what happens to Kelani Jordan and her confidence, because she would win the title, only keep it a few short weeks? I think the storyline narrative could be more interesting with her losing the championship early rather than just holding the championship, being the happy-go-lucky champion. I think we could get more character development come out of her from that way. So I'm going to go for a wild card here. Despite the fact that Kelani Jordan has only just won this championship, I'm going to go for Sol Ruca to win the gold here. It's main event time, folks, for the NXT Championship. A fatal four-way, Trick Williams defending against Javon Evans, Ethan Page, and Shawn Spears. Three legitimate #1 contenders. Firstly, Javon Evans winning the Battle Royal to determine a #1 contender on NXT TV. A match that Ethan Page was supposed to be a part of, but was attacked by Ora Mensah before it really got started. They attacked to the back. He was never officially eliminated from said Battle Royal, to the point that he got a match at the main event of that show, defeating the #1 contender, Javon Evans. Of course, it protects Evans as well, because the fact he'd gone through, 20 odd superstars in a Battle Royal early in the evening to lose then to Ethan Page later on. So hence we've got ourselves near enough a triple threat situation. Shawn Spears, on the other hand, had said he'd beaten Javon Evans, but also with, a bit of a distraction, or let's say an invasion, if you want, of Brooks Jensen, of course, who's currently got this storyline. He's meant to be vanished from NXT. Did cost Trick Williams a match against Shawn Spears last week, hence Ava making a fatal four-way match. Now, for me, this makes a lot of sense to do this on this show, because I don't think there's an outright #1 contender for Trick Williams at this point. I think that's the problem currently with NXT, because great for Javon Evans, a young talent, has been a rising star and got himself already into a championship match on a premium live event. At his age, is incredible. Ethan Page is the new guy there, but of course he lost at Battleground, so to get another chance here, it's good for him at this point, but it makes sense in a fatal four-way environment rather than one-on-one. Also being from Canada, I think he's going to get a lot of cheers from this, which is great for him. Shawn Spears, also being from Canada, is going to get a lot of cheers also, but has been kind of in around the mid-card since return to NXT around WrestleMania season. So NXT has lost a lot of its bigger stars, if you want, to Raw and SmackDown. So Trick Williams at the moment, I think in a fatal four-way, makes a lot of sense for this match. They built the three contenders well to have this match. However, I do think Trick Williams is going to retain here. I think Trick Williams will be the NXT champion for the foreseeable future. I think someone like Femi or Wes Lee is someone that's the natural challenger that will go perhaps going into the autumn season for Trick Williams, and I think that's when we'll start to see some true tests for him and his NXT title reign. But that's my predictions. What are your predictions for NXT Heatwave? Let me know right now in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button, share this with a friend as well who likes wrestling, subscribe also to this channel if you are new here, and check out more videos on the channel in the meantime, and keep an eye on the channel this week. Money in the Bank predictions will be live on a live stream on Tuesday. Also, there will be the Rewind Money in the Bank 2020. It will be reviewed by myself and NXT as well. But check out these videos on the side of your screen right now if you can't wait to see more content on this channel, and I will see you for the next video. Thanks for watching. Have yourselves a great day.